303, I mean, if you make acid house, you can only use one machine if you want to be real, and that's the Roland 303. I mean, there wouldn't be an acid symphony if there wouldn't be a 303, and it wouldn't make any sense to make an acid symphony if it wasn't with 303s. I mean, it wouldn't be an acid symphony. So, I mean, there's a 303, so why not do an acid symphony? That's kind of like the thinking behind it.
The Roland TB303 bassline is a synthesizer with built-in sequencer, manufactured by the Roland Corporation in 1982 and 1983, that had a defining role in the development of contemporary electronic music. The TB303, named for transistor bass, was originally marketed to guitarists for bass accompaniment while practicing alone. Production lasted approximately 18 months, resulting in only 10,000 units. It was not until the mid to late 1980s that DJs and electronic musicians in Chicago found a use for the machine in the context of the newly developing house music genre. At the time, they were very cheap, which helped to contribute to their popularity. The TB303 is considered a collector's item today, often valued at $1,000 to $3,000 US. An example recently sold on eBay for $2,275 US.
The idea came actually 12 years ago at the Helsingin Juhlaviikot. There was a piece of music by Raul Björkenheim called Apocalypso, which was written. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I think it was like 24 guitarists, 8 bass players, and 4 drummers. And I was at the event, and I thought like, well, that would be fun to do with like some electronic equipment, because I mean, in the 80s there was a surge of new music that was really inspired like a few particular equipment. I mean, with rock music it was electric guitar, which is kind of like an instrument, but these particular electronic instruments, it's not just like a drum machine, it's one particular drum machine, it's one particular bass synthesizer, and it's really just that machine. And for me it was like a cool idea. Why not have these exact Roland drum machines, bass machines, and hook them up and make this kind of like a piece of music that would be just like a huge volume of sound, and maybe create some harmonies that you never heard before. Because I mean, all these synthesizers are monophonic. They can only produce one note at the time. You can't play any chords. During the years I never really thought about doing it seriously, and it's only because I know the guys doing the UMF festival. There was an idea. I mean, they always ask me like 8 months in advance, like, Jori, do you have an idea what you want to do? And before at the UMF I've always done some weird things. I mean, a couple of years ago I took my whole studio, took it to a club that's like across the street from where I live, so it was really easy to carry one synth at a time and build the studio on stage, and then do this kind of like live improvisation on stage. So this year I told them, well, I had this idea about doing an acid symphony, and I can maybe get like 10. I mean, I know pretty much all the people in Finland who have a 303, or at least who are willing to do this, and then they had already booked a couple of people playing at the festival who I knew had the 303. It was kind of like a very long-term project that, more than 10 years, kind of like as an idea. And even now it took like a few months to get everyone together, get the whole concept really thought out, how it's going to work out musically, and then writing, and also having these guys from Helsinki, which is like Kokeellisen Elektroniikan Seura, which is like Association for Experimental Electronics, who built the actual machine that we can sync all these machines, because these are like 25-year-old machines. They don't work like, you know, music instruments of today. They don't have media or not to mention like USB or anything. So it's a very weird system you have to hook them up with. So that was kind of like main challenge technically to get everyone synced. And the thing is, we haven't played yet, and we still don't know if it's going to work because it's 10 machines, and all the machines have been all around Finland. So we haven't been able to test it, and we're going to know when we get on stage if it's going to work or not. It might blow a fuse, and then we just sit there quiet and try to be, you know, not too embarrassed about it and leave quietly. But you know, it's quite exciting right now.
Jori told me about this, and I was immediately telling him that I had to be attending this concert.
I was happy to be invited. I was really curious to see how 10 303s would sound together. I think it's going to be really mental.
Yeah, my first reactions were that it's not going to work, but it's really crazy and awesome.